Welcome back, everybody, to another week of Twisted Transitions. I am your host, DJ JayBook, and guys, today we've got a good show for you. We've got a real good show for you. So, we've got the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Cleveland Terry, coming on in just a little bit, and we're going to talk to him. I've got some great questions and stuff for him. And we're just going to talk a little bit about what's been happening, what happened at last week's gig, and what you guys thought about the gig log and stuff that came out this week. If you saw it, if you haven't, it is up, it is live, and I think I have them all set up for about Tuesday. I'm one or two maybe set up for Wednesday, but for the most part, they should all come out routinely each week on Tuesday. So you guys know how we do it. Please give me a feedback in the chat. Let me know if my levels and everything are good, if everything sounds good, so that I can have a decent show and stuff today, and I'll go ahead and get started. DJ Romeo Great already came in, his first comment and stuff today. He told me congrats for having Cleveland Terry on. It's the perks of this YouTube thing sometimes, when you have like-minded people. And you just reach out. Sometimes they do you a solid, which is good. So that's exactly what Cleveland is doing today for me. All good. Everybody says I'm all good. Good. Okay. So let's jump right in so we don't, take up too much time, because I definitely want to get Cleveland on here. I've got some good stuff, and you guys can ask questions to him and stuff in the chat and stuff too. We'll be answering out of the chat, but I do have some good questions and stuff for him. So let's start with last weekend. So last weekend, this is the setup here. We were at the Corley Mill House, and the setup and everything. I tried something a little bit different at this event. Usually when I'm at this event, they always put me up on the stage, except for one time, which was interesting. But they always put me up on the stage, and I usually bring the ADJ event table too. And this time I wanted to try to do the facade, and I use the Chauvet Wash FX2s, and this time I wanted to use my Focus Spot 4Z. So I got creative and stuff with it. I knew since I was going to be using the uplights around the room that it was already going to give the room a feel and everything for lighting and stuff, so I didn't have to shine it down on them, and then the moving heads were just kind of going to be everywhere. So it kind of gave a better atmosphere, I thought. It was a little bit more that you had to set up as far as cable wise, but it was probably about the same as you would do to take down for the wash effects. But I mean, here's what it looked like and stuff in the room. They also had a monogram, so I used projectogram for the monogram, and of course I used the Epson projector and everything there. So I put it on that back wall. There wasn't a whole lot of options and everything for that for the monogram, so I just kind of put it the best way I could. I didn't want to shine it on the floor because it would have to shoot up over me, and the ceiling wasn't but so high, and I was already elevated off the ground. So I just picked the best wall that I thought, and kind of got that up there, and it actually turned out pretty well. The couple and everything were happy and stuff with it. This is their final dance here on there. I had the LD Maui system, and it was almost overkill for that room. That room is not huge, but it did the job. They got some great pictures and great stuff out of it. So can't complain and stuff there. Those guys were definitely happy with the service that I brought and stuff to them, and we didn't have any hiccups, guys. It was smooth sailing. These guys were really easygoing. I got to experiment with some different song choices. The groom actually did a lot of the playlist this time. I send them the Vibo app. And they're allowed to pick the music and everything, but usually it's the bride and maybe her friends or something like that who's picking the music. But this time it was the groom, and he picked a lot of the songs here. So everybody had a good time with it. So once I make a gig log with that one, you'll see a pretty lit party. I mean, it was pretty lit for the most part, so can't complain. Um, Let me do a quick room check and stuff here. You got some folks and stuff making their way in here. We've got Romeo Great. We've got Steve's Weddings. We've got Chris Hush. How does that? Huskinson. I hope I said that right. Oh, man, some of you guys' names. It feels like I'm doing the introduction for the wedding party here, and the names, like, I don't want to butcher their names, but it looks like Chris Sen Zoprano. I'm assuming. Checking into the room. DJ Queso, what's happening, man? Are those the Bose L1 speakers? No, those are the LD Maui 44 G2s. Those were, those are the big boys that LD offers, and they pack some serious punch. They really do. Let's just say this: in that room, I probably could have gotten away with bringing one speaker, and it take care of everything. No problem. Like, absolutely no problem. So yeah, I love those speakers. I love that setup. This week we are going out to Newberry, which is probably about an hour away from me. This is going to be a farm setting. Not sure how I feel about that, but I think the weather here will be about 75 is the high. But it's an early wedding. It's like from 2 to 7, so it's not that bad. I'll be done fairly quickly. And but I'll probably take the drone out this time, because I like when it's open space like that. I like to kind of take the drone out and get some footage and stuff of that. And so I'll do that, and then my setup will be very basic. She has 100 people, but it's like a big open field, the way she described it. And then when I saw pictures of it, it's like a fairly big size open field that there was both the ceremony and the reception will be taking place in. So, hopefully everything goes over well. Everything is pretty easy, pretty simple. She's got me attached to kind of the barn or building type deal, and she said there's a plug right over there. So I'm hoping that everything goes well. I'm definitely prepared if there's not, because I refuse to go out unprepared. So that's my thing and stuff here. Also, I know that everybody's been talking about the new Serato update. I recently did like I guess you would call it like a side update, where I still had my 2.6 and had the 3.0 and stuff as well. And because I don't know if you guys have downloaded it yet, but it does say, if you do use Serato, it does say that like right when you first bring up 3.0, it says, it's a beta. It's it could be shaky and stuff. I would not use at a live event or for important functions and stuff like that. So, I just wanted to play around and stuff with it, so I brought it upstairs and just fired it up and just went at it for probably about 30 minutes, and I didn't experience any bugs or anything like that, but everything was smooth, everything worked smoothly. There was probably like a slight delay when you first load up a track. There's probably like a little delay, but that would probably be something they'll fix. If that is an issue, because usually in 2.6, when I throw a track up there, it's like immediate and it's ready to go. But this one had like a slight drag, probably like maybe half a second. But it is noticeable because of how fast the other one is. But other than that, man, the stems work great. I mean, I like it. I'll need more time to play with it so I can see how I can incorporate that into what I already do. But yeah, you can get really creative with that stuff, man. Yeah. There's a lot of beat matching and stuff that I do. So when I have like the end of a song or like a short edit of a song, and it just kind of plays an instrumental towards the end of the song, having that feature to where you can take out all the drums and everything, the melody, the drums, the bass, and just leave vocals, that would serve well without having a full acapella. And that's nuts. That's nuts that you can do that on the fly like that. So kudos to them for that update. I hope they get that 3.0 out quickly so we can go ahead and jump on that. But I'm ready for it. I'm here for it, and I'm ready for it. But I will not be using that at this weekend's gig. No, thank you. Because last thing I want is for anything to happen while I'm doing first dance, or if I'm in the middle of a great dance set or something like that. So I definitely don't want that to happen. So also I wanted to talk about this here. Because at the last gig, if you can see on the side, let me see, that's the wrong image there. If you can see, I might have to bring this one back up. Hold on. If you can see right there in between the facade and the speakers, you see how that cord and stuff is hanging right there? I have real bad OCD. I think that, I did that poorly, but they told me that I could not tape that stuff down. And that was kind of aggravating to me. I don't like when I can't tape stuff down. Like I have to. I'm real anal and stuff about that. So I saw this on DJ Idea sharing and stuff here. And I don't know how you guys tape your stuff down, but I saw this on DJ Idea sharing. And I'm not going to lie to you. This is what I do when I get lazy. When I get lazy, I tend to do this. I only put like a couple of strands of stuff across. I won't cover up the wires. I just like, man, I really don't feel like taking the time and just putting that stuff all down there, wasting all this tape. I just don't do it. But to see this right here, this is my lazy day right here. But this looks like this is what this guy does. So how do you guys do your wiring and stuff like that? Do you tape the whole wire? If there's more than one wire, do you tape it all the way down and across? Do you have something that covers it? What do you guys use? I guess is what I'm saying. So yeah, let me know and stuff in the chat and stuff here. And it looks like Cleveland's in the green room here. So I think we're gonna bring him on. Hold on one second here while I do so. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, I put together a nice intro for you, CT. So let me give you that intro first.
All right, I'm waiting. I'm excited.
All right, here it is. So,
okay,
ladies and gentlemen, he has over 40,000 subs and counting on YouTube. He has 9,000 and counting followers on IG, 6,000 and counting followers on Twitch. He is the DJ's guru, the tech giant / wizard. And most recently, he is the IG Reels hitmaker. Ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Cleveland Terry.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Not bad, huh?
No. I mean, usually when I bring people on, I just talk trash. So I appreciate that. Hold on, let me get this. Since we're now in frame here, let me see how I can make this.
All right.
I gotta figure out where the it's in reverse.
Yeah,
it's
it does
messing
look
with
like it does look like it's in reverse right there. It's on the opposite side because usually I'm used to seeing your sign on the other side.
Let's see here. And it's sensitive. It's all right. It is what it is.
Okay. It's all good. We can still hear you great. I think that's the main part. We can see you and we can hear you.
I feel like I'm dark though. Not like skin color. I feel like I'm darker than I should be.
Really?
I think I need a little more light. Is it look good?
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, it looks like there's a light shining on your sign back there.
There is. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's sometimes, you look at some people's stuff and it just doesn't look the same as like on my OBS.
Right.
So, yeah, it's fine.
Cool.
Yeah. Ecamm did not like me at first. I was having trouble getting on. It didn't like my sound card. It didn't like OBS virtual cam. It didn't like anything. I had to go back from scratch.
No! I thought your meeting was going long, so I was like, well, let me see. Do I have Plan B and stuff ready? Because his meeting may have run just a little bit longer.
Yeah, it was weird. Like it first was trying to take the audio out of my camera only, and it doesn't actually list what your devices are. So I didn't know where my Mixcast was because it just said digital device. It's weird. But it's cool. We're here now. We're ready to go. And I can't see comments, so I gotta open up YouTube.
Oh, okay.
See people chatting. And let me.
Wow, those comments don't come up and stuff on there?
There's nothing on here. The
Oh.
only thing I have is mute, share screen, and hang up.
Oh, wow.
Wait, there is a comment thing up top here. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Maybe it's all the way up in the corner. Blanked out here. Let's see.
All right.
Oh, nope. There it is.
Is that all? Because I'm on Twitch and stuff as well. So can you see? Like,
no, it'll probably only show one of them.
Only YouTube? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if somebody says something in Twitch, I'll bring it up on my screen so you can.
There you go.
So you can see it there. Like, DJ Queso is saying, what's up, CTC? You can see that though, right?
Yep, I can see that.
Okay, good. All right.
All right.
So, I was putting together, questions and stuff for you here, and I wanted to try to give, questions that maybe you don't answer all the time, because you answer so many people's questions all the time. And I was like, I don't want this to be that same old interview that you give similar answers and stuff to. So I wanted to make it just a little bit different. And then, of course, I'm going to let the guys and stuff ask you any questions and stuff that they may have. So if you guys will put a hashtag ask in the chat, and if you have any questions for Cleveland, but please, not that many gear questions. He has a whole Tech Thursday show that you can go watch every Thursday. You can watch and ask all those questions. We're here today to learn more just about the man himself. How about that? Let's do that. You. Just a little different.
I appreciate that. Well, I'm gonna share this real quick.
Okay.
To my people.
Let me get some water here.
Where is it? Oh, create post. Okay. I'm on now.
Hey guys, let me know in the chat to make sure you can hear Cleveland and stuff as well too. I want to make sure his volume's up, because I can turn it up over here if you guys need to hear it, and make sure his quality is good over there as well.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good. And then I can always adjust a little bit too. All right.
Oh, there it is.
Please.
Okay.
So, all right. So ask away.
Okay. So here's some stuff that not only I thought about, that I would probably, ask myself if this was the first time I had ever met you, which I want to also reiterate that I've never met Cleveland in person, but I've met him several times and stuff online. So yeah, I know a little bit and stuff about Cleveland, but let's learn more and stuff today here. So let's see. The first question I have for you is, in your opinion, what makes a great DJ, not a good DJ? What makes a great DJ?
Great DJ. I think a great DJ has an ego, because I think you have to have an ego to truly be great.
Okay.
Because it requires just you not caring about what anybody else thinks.
Right.
You know what's best for what the party is or what's going on. Mm-hmm. However, the ego has to go away when you're DJing. If that makes any sense.
It does.
So, yeah. So, what makes a great DJ? A DJ that is willing to step outside of his comfort zone, his or her comfort zone. Okay. Do something truly original. Like, I like artistry in DJing, and the best ones, the great ones, have like wonderful artistry. And that's only and I'm only speaking about when I see them live, not when it's already pre-set up and they've done everything and it's perfect. I mean, those people you can see all the time. Right. Given enough time, anybody can make a lot of things perfect. Right. But it's when you see them live. Like, I've seen Miles Medina live.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't get a lot of credit. People don't really know him, but he's one of the best DJs like in the world. Yeah. That gets no credit.
Yeah.
Miles Medina. I'm a big Four Color Zach fan. I mean, okay. I know some people, Zach, I think he's a love it or hate it kind of guy. Mm-hmm. But like, if you see him live, you have to appreciate the way his mind works, because nobody thinks like Four Color Zach. Okay. And of course, Scratch Bastard was still to this day one of the best live performances I've ever seen.
Yeah,
is Scratch Bastard, and he was so good. Because I saw him, it was the year of COVID, 2020. He was at the BPM Supreme show at NAMM. Mm-hmm. So they always had it at the House of Blues. So they were there, and they had DJ Angelo and Scratch Bastard and the other one, Z Trip, and several other DJs, right?
Yep.
So these are all world renowned DJs.
Right.
When I tell you, Scratch Bastard made them all look like amateurs.
Wow.
I really mean it. He was he was that good.
Wow.
You know, and I at that point, because I'd always appreciated Scratch, you know, and but it wasn't until then where I was like, okay, he's operating on a completely different level.
Different level.
Like,
sure.
not just so much, because before, when he first came out, I liked him. I didn't think he had a lot of soul to him. Like the way he DJ'd and the way he scratched, everything was just kind of like almost like staccato.
Right.
And then all of a sudden he got this swing to him.
Yeah.
And all bets are off. All bets are off now. Honestly.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of his content, and then I watch him whenever he comes on Twitch.
Yeah.
And stuff. I watch him,
and that's not even him. Like, did you watch when he did it was the Beat Junkies was Mello's like Beat Junkie thing where he had a whole bunch of people performing on his channel.
Yeah.
So Scratch Bastard was like second to last. Okay. Now, this is Mello, Beat Junkies. He's got everybody.
Right.
And then it's almost like this is where the ego kicks in. It's almost like Scratch was like, okay, I know these are all good. I got to show them who's best.
Right.
And then he just destroyed them for an hour.
Wow.
And then somebody else came on afterwards and they literally were like, I don't even know what to do now. You know, because he was that good. And that's what it is. He's one of the only DJs that rises to the occasion.
Right.
You know, not a lot of people can do that.
Right. And no platform is too big for him. And I like he can get out there. And if he's just in the back, just in the, you know, not even, you know, supposed to perform, he can jump right in and do something cold. I saw him do something one time. I think he was there to see somebody else. And the DJ said, you know, my brother Scratch Bastard and stuff is here. We just gonna let him come out and I mean, it's not his laptop, it's not his system, it's not. And he just hopped on and he was like, you know, whatever you're playing, I'm good. I can go ahead and take it from there. And that you're on a whole different level when you can do that.
Yeah. That's not me. That's not me. I mean, I can go through and I can be okay, but like to excel, to be better,
right?
I don't know how people do that. It's totally impressive.
That's nuts. Yeah, he is definitely truly a pioneer. He definitely is. Let's see. Romeo Great threw an ask in there. He said, should gig logs get away from the constant equipment description and talk about situations that can make or break a gig?
Well, I mean, if you are following me, Romeo, you'll notice that my gig logs rarely talk about parties anymore. You know, they're always based upon either something I'm using and how I use it on the party, and if I had problems with it on the party. But like I kind of stopped doing. I mean, I'll give like a 20-second. Okay, guys, yeah, this is what I'm using today. All right, let's move on now. You know, because I don't personally think that gig logs work all that well anymore. Just to be honest with you, like I don't think it generates the numbers that it used to. Right. So I think that if you're going to do something on a gig log, it better have a story behind it.
Right.
And the story needs to connect to something.
Right.
So, you know, that's why, like if something breaks on your gig, you know, I mean, it happens. I mean, yeah, then you can have the whole clickbaity, oh no, I can't believe this happened. You know, something like that. Right. And that's fine. That's fine. And I think there's a time and a place for that. But if every gig log is like, oh no, or drama or this, you know, it's like, I think people have gotten tired of it.
Right.
You know, I mean, even bar, as good as bar is at gig logs, you know, even bar is like, you know, I don't know anymore. I'm kind of over it, you know? So I think gig logs and like just vlogs in general are kind of dead now. You know, they're still there. There's still a place for them, but I don't think you're going to get those huge numbers that some people used to get. Right. You know, you're not Casey Neistat.
Right. You know, I agree with that too, because, you know, my channel has, you know, a whole lot of gig logs. The moment that I do something outside of that, People like, when you're doing more gig logs, and I'm like, well, wait, you have all these gig logs that you can watch. Like, that's not enough. And they're like, no, we want more music. We want to see how you blend music. We want to see how you put this together, put a whole set together. Like, show me how you do this. I'm like, what?
Well, that and that's fine because that's less of a gig log to them. They want to hear you DJ, and that's different.
Right.
So I appreciate that. The problem is you can't monetize on those.
Sure
so
can't.
then you're like, what's the point of doing that if I can't monetize? A lot of work going to nothing.
Right. And a lot of work. I mean, a lot of work. I can't tell you how many hours.
Yeah. I was telling people today, you know, the last video I did about Serato stems, I'm like, I'm not making a dime off that. There's like 28,000 views right now.
Yeah.
Not making a dime. So I don't go into making a whole bunch of those because that's just a waste of time.
It is.
You know?
It is.
Yeah.
I agree.
And even though for everybody out there, especially you people getting into YouTube, you know, there's not a lot of money coming from a per video standpoint.
Right.
You know, like if somebody were to give you like a super chat of like $20, you'd make more off that super chat than you'll ever make on that video.
Or you better preach on him, man. I'm telling you. He's right. He is right. Unless you are like some big name, huge guy, just like you said, Casey Neistat, you get, you know, 1 million views in 2 days.
Exactly.
You're not making a whole lot of money. And that's why you see some of your favorite DJs not putting out a whole lot of videos. It's almost like it's not worth it and stuff anymore, but it's, you know, you still want to put out some content because content is always king.
It is it's a rat race. You know what I mean? Like, you're on there, and once you're on, you kind of have to keep doing it, because if you don't, YouTube is like an anchor point. And it's like the place where everything starts and then moves off from there. So when people are looking for you, as far as, you know, your expertise level or your skill set level or your DJ level, they're going to go there first. And it's something that's searchable. So searchable means they're going to find you. You can't really search, you know, say you search some piece of gear on IG. You're not popping up.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like, so it's necessary. And I go back and forth. I mean, I enjoy making YouTube content, and my numbers are my number, or where my numbers are. So like, my monthly revenue just comes in the same. You know, it might go in a little higher if I put a couple more videos in, but it's always kind of sits at the same amount, because it's not about the video you do today. Right. You know, it's about all the videos you've done and the accumulation of views. Right. So yeah, but you know, sometimes I think about it. I'm like, if I can just get, like, if people were just members, let's say, I don't know, 1,000 people, 1,000 people were that spent $4 or $5 to be one of my people. Right. It wouldn't matter what I posted online. I could post anything, because true. I'm never going to make that same amount just by posting anyway. I agree. Member.
I agree.
Membership has its privileges.
Yeah, it definitely does. And is that why a lot of people do like the Patreon and stuff like that? Because it's like a membership and stuff, right?
Yes. Yeah, you can't. It's the more you do YouTube, the more you understand that, like, you need some outside help. Right. So there's Patreons, there's all those things that people tend to, and I understand. Yeah. I mean, you know, I completely understand. I mean, I have lots of views, and even then, it's a savings account.
I agree.
I don't use it for anything else besides either if I have to buy something for this place gear wise, you know, but in general, that money just goes into it's a savings account separate from my main account. The money just goes in there. I never even look at it. It just shows up. Every so often I'll open up the statement that comes in the mail, and I'll go, oh wow, okay, and then I'll put it away again. Yep, that's it.
The only time I open it and stuff is when it's time to do taxes.
Exactly.
That's the only time I open it. I'm just like, that money just comes in, I'm like, yep, it'll go right over there. And then when it's time to do taxes, Google AdSense sends me the thing in the mail, and I'm like, okay, I guess I got to see how much is in.
Exactly. Yeah.
Classic. Okay. So, where do you see the industry going within the next 5 to 10 years, as far as maybe like the wedding DJ versus like gear? Because I saw Nick say something on his show about
He says something controversial.
right. Well, of course, he wouldn't be Nick if it wasn't controversial. But he said, by the probably the next 10 years, he said that we would be. I think he said we would be DJing like maybe virtually or something like that, or in the metaverse, and that's going to be weddings and stuff then, and like all this craziness. So where do you see DJing going over the next 5 to 10 years?
Unless there's another, worldwide pandemic, I don't think we're going to lose weddings or any type of social events.
Okay.
Yes, you're going to maybe supplement with metaverse stuff, maybe. And that's assuming that people even trust Zuckerberg. I mean, every year it's like less and less that people trust and want to give him any more information. So,
Right.
That could completely change. I mean, the metaverse has been around for a while. You still don't really see a lot of people, and we could be saying this as like old people, like there's nothing there, and meanwhile it's like big,
Right.
but like
Right.
not one person has asked me. I think that there's still going to be face to face. There's still going to be weddings. There's still going to be bar mitzvahs. I think what you might see is something that I thought was going to happen sooner, and that was the off-site DJing, where
Off-site.
yes, where like I'm here DJing for a venue and there's a camera on the dance floor and I'm streaming my audio to them and I'm the DJ.
What?
And I'm just like, yeah, that's what I think. Because then you don't have to necessarily worry about all the drama, having people travel to come see you and,
True.
all of these things and paying people for all this stuff. You can be like, no, I'm going to pay you less, but you don't have to leave your home.
Right.
And then you can just do it from your studio. So I truly believe that's going to come before, all I don't want to go to a wedding in the metaverse.
No, who does?
What?
Who does?
So, I mean, think about this for a reason. What's the reason that we would even go to a wedding? Well, really, people who, first off, nobody likes going to weddings.
Right.
Okay. That's the first thing.
Right.
You said maybe you get 2% that actually love weddings, but weddings are happy. So you just generally have a better time. There's open bar, so you're drinking your ass off.
Yep.
Hopefully there's great music, so you're having a good time. And then after that, you want to go home. But like, I don't want to be in goggles, drinking a vodka tonic for no reason. In my house in my robe. Like that's just weird. Like I don't see it. I don't see it. I know I see Chris saying all wireless by 2040.
Yeah.
I want to be all wireless now.
I was about to say, yeah, if we can do that now, because wrapping up cables and stuff afterwards is like, it's probably one of the most aggravating things that I do as a DJ. Mm-hmm. It may be. Yeah.
I mean, think about it. Right now we have JMAS with battery powered moving heads.
Right.
They have wireless protocols in those too. So
right.
I don't know if you probably have to have a JMAS protocol. I don't know. But even so, like I can use my Chevy D5s and just pop them in the XLR.
Right.
They have battery powered speakers, but that is where the money needs to be invested. It's in the battery powered speakers.
I agree.
Because we don't have a good enough speaker that's loud enough. They have wireless mics. Thanks, Queso. That's loud enough that can keep going for 6 or 7 hours, on a battery that's not going to be 400 pounds heavier because you have to fill that thing with batteries.
Right.
That's really the only issue because they got wireless lights. They have wireless microphones. They have battery powered controllers.
Yep. I was just about to say that.
Yeah. So in reality, the only thing left are the speakers.
Yep.
Oh man, would I be happy?
That would be, I just had that thought, like that would be absolutely nuts, but I bet you they're going to charge out the ass for that. That's going to be so much money to try to buy a battery powered speaker. And
could you imagine? They're gonna have to have retractable batteries that you can have multiples charging.
Right.
Because I mean, could you imagine if you had to how long would that thing even have to charge for?
Right.
Get home, you got to plug them in. Oh, I would assume that they'd be good enough to where you could plug them in anyway.
Right.
You have a choice.
Right.
But yeah. Oh, that'd be great.
That would be awesome.
Someday.
Yeah, if any company asks me what could we do different, I'm just gonna say battery. Just battery powered stuff. Everything needs to just go to battery. Take away these wires, it's killing me. All right, so for the people and stuff who are here watching, what's one hobby that you have that most don't know about?
Hobby that they don't know about.
They don't know about it. It doesn't even have to be DJ related. Like, what's one thing that Cleveland does that maybe we don't know that is a passion of his?
I have two passions. One is music, obviously. Music production is something that I love doing. I did it before I actually had a record deal and everything.
Okay.
So that's one. And then another, I am a huge movie lover.
Any type
And I don't
of
mean
movie?
I like action like everybody else, but like I watch a lot of subtitled international films. Like that's my thing. Like
Really?
Korea has some amazing movies right now that nobody knows about because people don't like to read subtitles. But like
That's me.
Yeah.
I'm
a big fan.
I watched Narcos or something like that on Netflix, and it was like, I think it was like the first season. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I barely watched the movie because the whole time I'm reading at the bottom because the whole thing is in Spanish. So I'm just like,
Narcos is a great show. First two seasons are amazing.
Yeah, and I'm like, I think this is a great show. I mean, the dialogue and stuff at the bottom is amazing, but I don't see anything on the screen.
Let's put it to you this way. I'm such a snob that if it is an international movie and then they have the American dub, I can't watch the American dub.
What?
Can't watch it. I will turn off the American dub, put the Chinese or Spanish version on and read it because there are inflections in the way they say them that is natural to actual words you're using versus somebody just coming in and saying them over and not necessarily thinking about the context. You know what I mean? So, I enjoy them. But you know what's funny about that? They're getting better. I've noticed like a lot of those subtitled ones, you almost can't tell that the mouth is different. Whatever they're doing. It's really impressive.
When I go on Netflix and I'm going across Netflix and I'm like, oh man, this movie looks so good, and then I see that their mouths don't match the word, I immediately go to the next. I'm like, I can't do this.
So you didn't watch like Money Heist?
Oh, now hold on. Okay, so Money Heist was one of those that I did enjoy until they got to like season 3. I was like, okay, how far are we going here? The first 2 seasons were great, but what are we doing here? Like, I can't keep watching these guys go through this.
You got to go through because the last season, which they split into 2, is really, really good. Really good.
Now you're gonna make me go back and watch it.
Yeah, but I understand though. I understand what you're saying though. But I like it got to the point now, and maybe because I have like kids and everything, that I keep subtitles on regardless. And when they're off, like I can't hear the words. What are they saying? I need my subtitles on.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. That's crazy. So here's a great question, and I don't know why you haven't done this yet, and you're probably going to give a great reason as to why, but why haven't we gotten Cleveland Terry merch yet? Like, why don't we have a hat or a shirt? I mean, because what I do see is that when I watch content of yours, you have a lot of stuff that you say, even if it's the morning show, you get a shirt made that says, Cleveland in the morning and stuff, and nobody has access to that but you. So I'm just like, why don't we have more merch? Where's the merch?
It's kind of a touchy subject, and the reason is because I have merch through Check One Two.
Okay,
but it doesn't come to me.
Okay.
And I don't have any way of like really tracking without ruffling feathers.
Okay.
So I just was like, whatever. I still want to make merch, and I will. I just got to figure out exactly how to do it. Because if I'm going to do it, I want to see the dividends.
Right.
I want to see it come to me. And I kind of have to. That's an easy way of making a little extra money too.
Yeah,
So,
because I mean, you have the numbers to be able to. I mean, enough people will gravitate towards your merch, especially off the stuff that you say. You have catchphrases. You have, people call you stuff all the time. I mean, you would sell merch easily.
I know. I need to just set it up. I know. And then there's that whole thing of like quality, and I'm just after I got Rick Webb shirts, I don't want to send out any crappy product.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because
I understand.
Yeah, because like and look, Bar will admit it too, because the ones he gets come from whatever that online company is. His shirts are big and boxy and they don't fit well. Then I put on Rick's shirts and I'm just like, oh man, this is great. So all I think about is like, what shirts are going where? Like it's gotta look good.
So Bar sent me a couple of those shirts, and I know exactly what you're talking about. They have like this fan thing that's on.
Yeah, it's just like
and it fans out. It fans out, and I'm just like,
and
this is not.
And
the
it was
quality
good,
of
and
shirt
it was
that I wear.
And it was good for like a day.
Yeah.
And then the more you wear it, the longer you wear it, the less shape it has, and next thing you know, it's flaring out. Like, am I wearing a dress? What is this? What is this thing I'm wearing?
Oh man, I thought I was the only one that saw that, but yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, Rick's shirts are great. It's snug. It fits around your arms good. I like Rick's stuff.
It gives a little space around the waist.
It does.
So it's just a good shirt.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna do it, I feel like I'm just gonna. They're gonna be more expensive, but they're gonna be really good quality.
Right. Right. Well, hopefully we'll get that and stuff in the future and stuff, man, because I think you would do great in that space.
Yeah, well, there is a company that I know that Tweak Music Tips uses, and it's almost drop shipping. Mm-hmm. Like it's all pre-order, so they know exactly how many to make, and then they make them, and then that's it. They do the run, and you're good. So I might go to them too, and almost do it as a one-off, and just to see what kind of traction, that I get going that way. Maybe I'll pick up a catchphrase, so one of my catchphrases that I can throw on there, in case it says stop playing whole songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta figure it out.
That shirt.
Yeah. So so we'll see. But it will come. You just literally just sparked the fire in me. So thank you.
That'll work. See? Yeah. Helping hands everywhere.
There you go.
All right. So the next one now this one may show a little bit of age and stuff on here. It may, but it's okay. We're here to just learn more about Cleveland. So my first cassette tape that I ever purchased myself, and hopefully I don't know what the age group and stuff is in the room, but cassettes were these little tapes that you pop in the tape player. Just trying to give you context behind this. But my first cassette tape ever was Snoop Dogg. That's what your tape goes in right there. Right there at the top. He's got props and stuff in there, man. So my first tape that I ever purchased was Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style. My mom did not know that I purchased this tape, but it was the first introduction to hip hop like that. Okay, right. So I'm curious, what was the first tape that you yourself purchased and just kind of fell in love with music with?
I don't know if it was the first one, but I distinctly remember Beastie Boys album. Was it Time to Get Ill? The one with the plane.
Okay.
The plane going down. Yeah. I remember that cassette tape. No, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But I actually remember when Snoop's. It's funny certain music you remember when you first heard it.
Yep.
And I remember that one because I was like 16 or something like that, and maybe a little earlier. But we had gone to the In-N-Out on Ventura Boulevard, and it was back in the day when people used to drive their cars and park, and it'd be all your supercars. I don't know if they still do it out there,
right?
But it had just come out, and the dude was playing it in his car, and I remember going, I got to go get this tape right now.
Yeah.
Like I went the next day. I went to Music Plus or Blockbuster Music, whatever, and picked it up. Yeah, but I remember that. I remember that one. I remember. I remember They Want Effects, Das Effects, playing on Yo MTV Raps or one of the late night MTV shows at like 1 a.m. I was with my girl. I was at my girlfriend's house, and it came on, and I made everybody shut the hell up because I did not know what I was watching.
Right.
Like I was like,
it's hard to process
this. Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah. That was one. MC Hammer, when he did This Is the News into This Is the News. Okay. So This Is the News video, you know, that's the video that put him on the map too.
Yep.
So This Is the News, but the song that he did right before that was called Ring 'Em. Remember that? Ring 'Em, go hammer, go hammer, go hammer. And that was how he starts the song and then goes into This Is the News.
Oh,
so
wow.
maybe by the time you saw it, they had cut out that beginning part.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was my first watch of that. You know, and there's a couple of them. It's amazing how what things stick in your head.
Right.
Audio 2, you know, the same people that did Top Billin'.
Yep.
You know, they had a song. Yeah.
See,
back when music was good.
Right. Look at that. When you had all these, a whole case of tapes that were lined up and you could see the names of them on the top of the case going straight down, and then somebody stole it out of your car because you had all the good music.
And then you had to, and then they finally got the tape players that would stop after every song.
Right.
And that saved your life. And
right.
then the flip over, the auto flip.
Hey, that was golden because you didn't have to pop it out and flip it over yourself. It would just automatically flip there. That would be awesome.
Except for the original ones. Remember the original ones when they would auto flip and then you would have to put it in reverse to get it to go forward?
That too. My dad had a long way. Look, for those youngins in the room and stuff right now, look, this is just, we're going back in the day here. So you may not know, you may have started with CDs, and hey, we had CDs and stuff too, but before CDs, there was tapes. Yeah.
And nightclub, it was back in my old school hip hop days when I used to be a hip hop dancer. End of the night, DJs always play exactly what they finally want to hear at the end of the night when the party's over.
Oh, of course.
First time I heard Wu-Tang Clan he was playing Method Man. Oh. And that's another one. I just stopped and was like,
what am I hearing?
Yeah.
And that's crazy because, you're West Coast. Now, have you always been on the West Coast?
So here's the funny thing about me. And a lot of people don't know this. I'm literally born and raised on the West Coast.
Right.
I say this, and I've always said this. I think I was born on the wrong coast.
Really?
Because all of my favorite hip hop, for the most part, is all East Coast.
Wow.
All of it. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm a Tribe Called Quest, De La Soul, all those people. I never really loved West Coast music. Not my thing.
Wow.
Yeah. So when there was like the whole beef between like Biggie and Pac, I was like, I like Biggie.
Right. I'm rolling with him.
Yeah. Everybody's different though. But yeah, I'm not a big West Coast music fan.
That's interesting because everybody from the West Coast is like, no, we like all stuff, the NWAs, the Ice-T's back in the day, and all that stuff. Like that was just like golden.
Yeah, I'm good. I was good with NWA. I was good with Ice-T. Ice Cube's America's Most Wanted is still one of my favorite albums.
Oh yeah.
But just in general, like the Mac 10, all of that kind of George Clinton remake music.
Right.
Never did it. I love Parliament Funkadelic.
Oh yeah.
I never really loved all the West Coast.
Yeah. Man. That's really interesting because you just automatically think that, whatever coast you're on, that's the kind of music you listen to. And like,
I know,
I'm a little different because even though I'm, in South Carolina and it's considered the South, I love more northern music than I did South music, because South music all sounded the same.
I thought you guys had to listen to this to Southern hip hop. I thought that was the thing. Like if you didn't, you weren't American or something.
Right. So that's why I had my whole collection at the house. That way, you know, when I go out, I'll listen to whatever he's got. But when I get home, it's like, you know, I want to hear some New York rap, because New York was, to me, was like, what am I hearing? You know,
Nas,
it was just one of those
Nas
things. Right.
And Jay-Z and all.
Oh,
yeah, but then again, you know what? It kind of makes more sense. I'm a music lover and a music producer. So I think I kind of went more towards like that jazzy sound.
Right.
Because it was just more musical.
Right.
Than just boom, boom, boom.
Right.
You know, every time, you know. And then, and lyrically, they kind of all rap the same on the West Coast. They all sounded like Ice Cube. You know, it was just like,
yeah, just worse versions.
There's one Ice Cube. I'm fine with just the one Ice Cube. You know? Right. Yeah. But just, I don't know, New York, it just seemed like at that point in time in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, that they were just trying to make something. There was a sound that they were trying to develop, and it was lightning in a bottle. Right. You know, where it was there. And it hasn't been able to be duplicated. I mean, I love all music. I mean, it's just, I try to think about the fact that we as older people will always say our music was better, and they don't make music like they did anymore.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So every so often I'm like, is it me? Is it me that's just being old, or is music just bad now?
Right.
You know, and I think for the most part, music is just bad now, because when it's good, it's great.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like, but you have to go outside the box. Like if you want, Kendrick, I got to go outside of regular stuff to make my album, you know? And it's just like, and you know, just join the Lucases and, you know, the J. Cole's and the Dreamville, like all these people that are making like music outside of the norm.
Right.
That's the music that we should be listening to, instead of all this, you know, all this mumble rap stuff. You know, but even then, the trick is just look at statistics.
True.
That's how you can tell, because statistically speaking, what they're saying is on all the streaming services, people, for the most part, are playing all of the older music.
That's true.
They're streaming the new music, of course, because these people are still making money. But like the rate that they're listening to older music tells you that the music's not good.
Right. Right. And it's really one of those things where you have to unlearn some of the music that you're hearing and stuff now, so that you can appreciate when what we consider good artists come out, like a Kendrick or a J. Cole. Like I have to get, you know, Young Thug out of my head so that I can hear what Kendrick's saying. You understand what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. Yeah, I totally agree. I definitely agree.
My call right before this one, it was a bar mitzvah, so I'm talking to the kid, and the kid's like, yeah, you know, I like this kind of music, I like that. And I'm like, okay, you know, typical kid, he probably likes just the normal stuff. And then he's like, yeah, but you know, there's music that I would like you to play. It's not really danceable. I'm like, well, what is it? He goes, well, you know, if you could play like some Steve Lacy, some MF Doom, you know. And I'm just like, oh, okay. You actually listen to real music.
Right.
Okay.
Surprisingly.
Yeah. So it's out there. And I think, and I learned that people didn't care about new music when we hit the pandemic, because when we came out of the pandemic, nobody wanted anything new. It was all old music.
Right. Right.
That should tell you.
I totally
right there.
Agree. I totally agree. And I mean, think about when we sit it down for most of these weddings and events and stuff like that. Yeah. Nobody asked for anything above 2010, maybe, or maybe 2005. No. It's all that and before. Yeah, and that should tell you right there, like, you know, the music that everybody loves was the music that was made before all this. I'm not going to say trash because everybody has an art. All this other music was made.
Well, and you can say trash because sometimes because sometimes a rapper will come out and make a version off the trash, and it's automatically better.
Right.
You know, like when I hear Joyner Lucas do the same cadence as, you know, one of the mumble rappers, and it's amazing. It just tells you can make good music out of the same music, but you have to be willing to, you know, to get better. These people are lazy.
Oh yeah, so very much so.
Hold on. What does it say? How do you feel about the current state of DJing, from pay range to gig availability? Just curious.
There we go. That was actually one of the questions I had on my list there.
So, God, I've been on the phone all day.
Yeah. That's why I've been drinking water and stuff. I've been on
Yeah.
calls.
So yeah, 2 hours on my show, and then literally right from there, I've been on the phone till I got on with you.
Right.
Okay. The state of DJing is doing just fine. All right. There are more parties than I think in general people know what to do with. So I think we are in a really good place as far as DJing is concerned. I think we're potentially in a better place than prior to COVID because we have been allowed to make adjustments to our pay, and people understand it's just the nature of the business. So I think the pay range has increased. I was watching Bar and I was telling and Rick yesterday, and they were talking about how they raised their rates. Right. Eric asking how he raised his rates, and it backfired on him, and people didn't want to book. And he's like, and I'm like, I didn't experience that. Right. And I think one of the reasons I didn't experience that is because I wasn't going from, I wasn't trying to just take more money out of the same market.
Right.
I was raising my rates to put myself into another market. So there's a difference. You know what I mean? Because if you just raise your rates and you're in the same market and people can't afford you anymore, you just lost your market. That's it. It's gone.
You did. Completely.
Yeah. Yeah. But for me, when I raised my rates, and we were smart about it, some people would say we were dumb, but I think we won on this one. Because people say, well, you don't want to have too many pricings and too many packages because it confuses people and they won't book it. But here's the thing. We have our regular packages, and then we have our premium packages. Right. Regular packages are just for people that want to book check 1, 2. They know about us. They know we did a good job. We are consistently great across the board. So everybody says you guys are great. We just want you. We don't care who we get. Here's our music stuff. Just do your thing. Cool. Then we have people that are like, I want this person no matter what. Okay. Well, if you want that person,
get a lot of those.
then you have to pay for them, and you can request them, but request, they may or may not be available. Right. And more importantly, not even through us. They just may not want to work. Cause I get that too, where hey man, you good for this weekend? You know what? I just think I'm going to take off this weekend. I got something going on. I'm going to hang out with the family. And you're like, okay. And you just have to accept it.
Right.
Now pre-COVID, if that happened and you went, for me personally, I can't speak for everybody. And I went back to the client. I'm like, oh, by the way, so-and-so isn't available. He took off. They're yelling at me like I took him off their party.
Right.
And I'm like, it has nothing to do with me. I can't control if he works or not.
Right. He has a life too. He's not just dedicated to you.
Exactly. So after COVID, the first thing I changed, I'm like, look, these are requests. They're not guaranteed. And if you want to guarantee them, you pay the money. I will verify with them right now that they're available. They will basically sign a contract, and then that's it. Right. They will be on your party. That's the only thing I can do. So if you need them that bad, then you go with that rate. But you called us because we're a great company. Right. So, and now I get a lot of people that are like, we don't care who we get. We know they're great. Or, hey, can I request somebody, but I don't need the premium. It's fine. If they're available, they're available. If not, you'll give me somebody good.
Right.
That's called training.
That is.
You train your people. Like,
I agree.
Guys, I'm giving you some tips here. So just
please pay attention. These are some gems.
Like, my phone rings off the hook. Okay. Right. People are always trying to book and, emails and phone calls and everything. And we would get, it's only 2 of us working the admin, and I'm the only one that works sales. So imagine if I'm not available, the phone just rings and goes to voicemail, and then it is what it is. So we were on the phones, the phone would ring and go to voicemail, whatever. I try to call them back maybe a half hour later because I was on the phone with another client. Guess what? It goes to voicemail on their side. Then I get on the phone with somebody else. They call me back an hour later, goes to voicemail. So we're playing all this voicemail phone tag, right? That's not productive. And then it gets to this point where they're like, oh, we tried to call you, but you guys didn't call us back or whatever. So we went with somebody else. So we changed it. We're like, I can't maintain all these calls, and I need to give everybody the attention they deserve. I'm not into, can you hold on while I take this other phone call? Like, I don't do that.
Right.
And maybe that might be old school, but I feel like if somebody's paying you a large amount of money, you can give them a little time.
Right. I agree.
So we went and started using Calendly.
Yep.
which is a phone call booking software. They just go online, they pick a time, I set up my time range, and then they book. And then you call them or they call you on the time it's set, and you're good. But in the beginning, people were angry. We just can't get a hold of you. Is this the only way we can get a phone call back? And they're just like, yes.
Yeah.
And then I explained to them, like, this is why, because people kept saying they would not get phone calls back. You're guaranteed a phone call if you just go in there. Right. So I'm sorry you have to wait one more day. At least now you know exactly when your phone call is coming. Right. You know exactly where you need to be because the phone call is coming. Right. And it took, let's see, we started that up, I want to say maybe second half of last year, maybe into first half of this year. Mm-hmm. And so much resistance, especially from the old clients, like repeat clients that call down because they think that you're supposed to like baby them. Now people are fine with it. And all the new people, like younger people, are like, oh, this is great. Right. I just choose the time and then you call me at that exact time, or we do a FaceTime.
Go
perfect. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, it's better for everybody. Like now I just wake up and I'm like, what do I have today? Oh, okay. I got all of this. Cool. All right. And then I work around it. Easy. You're going to work anyway.
Too
now
easy.
At least yeah. So, set your own rules. Because I had clients that were angry and party planners that were like, well, I don't understand why you have to do this. And I'm like, look, this is the way we run our company. And we run our company this way to avoid this whole, you guys are hard to get a hold of. Nobody calls me back. Now you can't say that.
You cannot.
So, yeah. So this is what we need. This is what we personally need in order to do a good job for you.
Right.
So if that's not enough for you, there's other people.
I agree.
So guys, companies are all about setting their, they always got to set their own rules, and they're like, we don't want to rock the boat. We don't want to change. This other company does it this way. So do what works for you. You know what I mean?
I would definitely highly recommend Calendly. Yeah, I mean, check. I use it. A lot of DJs and stuff, especially if you receive a lot of calls and you are the booking agent yourself, please check out Calendly. It helps you so much, helps organize. This just gets stuff in line, and people pick the time slots that you have already set ahead of time. Yeah. Even like if you're on vacation, you can strike out the whole week and nobody can call that week, but they can set it up for the following week on whatever day you have available. It's all of
those conventions, expos, and all that stuff. Yeah, I just went back in. I'm like, I can't do this.
Right.
I didn't even think about it because it was already set for me.
Right.
It
just makes sense. It makes perfect sense, and people won't overlap each other either. If you got somebody here on Tuesday, it won't be a Tuesday, and they'll jump right in on Tuesday unless you have the availability and stuff open on there. On the calendar.
And one other thing that you can do. It forces you to get off the phone when you need to.
That's true.
So if they book a 15-minute call, at the end of that 15 minutes, you're like, oh, yeah, I got another call I got to get on. Let's get this done. Got to run. So much better. And then it's not you being rude. It's not you pushing them off the call, but it's like, hey, you chose the 15-minute one. There's a 15-minute one. There's a 30-minute one. So you chose that one.
Right.
Now I got to go. I had one lady, because sometimes they'll forget their own stuff.
Right.
And then I call them, they don't answer. And I tried to call this lady back like for 10 minutes. And I emailed her. I'm like, look, I tried to call you. I do have another call at 4:30. So it is what it is. And she had the nerve to come back kind of with an attitude. And I'm like, I've been calling you for 10 minutes. And was like, she's like, well, you should call me in between here. I booked you for 30 minutes. Ooh. So she expects me to sit around for 30 minutes like this, waiting for the phone call to come through. I'm like, after 10 minutes, I'm like Apple.
Right.
Like you try to go to Apple, make an appointment at Apple and try to get service after 10 minutes.
Right.
See how that works out for you. Oh man.
This is true. And you'd be amazed how many people are just like angry over the smallest little details. It's the dumbest thing.
It's all everybody's so emotional nowadays.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Guys, just let's move on. You're literally booking a wedding. You're booking a party. Like this is all happy stuff.
Right.
Like
this is supposed to be happy time.
Yeah, like just let's just be happy. It's okay.
Right. It
Yeah.
just
So,
people are
hold
still
on.
angry.
Yeah.
um,
Lopez said, hold on.
I got you.
Sorry, Romeo said, do you see yourself going back to producing? So
Oh,
I
let me
do.
go back here.
I still have a love for it. I started doing when Serato contracted with me to do Serato studio videos. That really like sparked me again.
Mhm.
And yeah, I'm definitely going back to that. If not just for, it's just for me, like I might make some edits that I'll throw up on Bandcamp or something like that. But like, or stuff that I just like myself. But yeah, that's part of like me, which is why I DJ.
Check this one
Um,
out. CT, check this one.
yep. It would be interesting to see you guys pull up your DJ software and see what the first most played song is for both of you. Well, the problem is the first most played song may not be what you're thinking because I
Right.
always play the same song
Right.
when I open up when I start the party as far as like doing a sound check and stuff.
Right.
Like I have a song right now. I don't know how it flipped into the first thing, but it's like it's like a hold on, it's a rock song. Um no, that's not exit. The rock song. Yeah. So for whatever reason, um Leave the Door Open, which is which is a big Papa blend,
Uh-huh.
and We Built This City by Jefferson Airplane. So
Oh.
I always play We Built This City because it's the first song that I turn on to make sure that stuff's working. It's not my sound check song, but it's the one I always plug in. I'm like, okay, we're good. All right, now we'll go to the sound check song. But I wonder what.
That's funny to know yours. You know what mine is? Mine is Phil Collins in the Air Tonight. I just for some reason that just gets me amped to hear that through the Maui 44. Like I
Right.
always fast
I
forward
can
it to
see
the
that.
drums part, you know?
Oh, I don't want to talk about your Maui 44s.
Why?
Because I don't know what's wrong with this company. When I tell you I think we're doing carrier pigeon communications. Like it's literally like it's like we're on Noah's Ark and then all the water came and the birds just flying around looking for LD. Like they don't know where they are because the water hasn't receded yet. And then finally it lands and then the guy comes back and is like, "Hey, yeah, I want to get you some stuff."
Right.
Cool. And then I reply to him, "Great. This is what I'm looking for, blah 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 blah." And then nothing again. Carrier pigeon floating around. I don't know what it is. But strangely enough, I don't know why this is. This has got to be a glitch because it says the first one makes sense. It says Cleveland Rocks, which is my sample,
Your sample,
for me, is played 67,000 times.
Jeez.
But the weird thing is, which is why I know it's a glitch, because it says my second highest is Dinero by J-Lo. I never
What?
played Dinero.
What?
Ever. I think I might have played Dinero like 4 times.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah. So I don't know what's going on with this.
Well, I know that
Something's not right.
I get some music from Jordan Lee, like his Patreon and stuff like that. I'll go in there. He has some edits and stuff on there, and so mine's not going to be accurate because it actually gives me all the plays that he did.
That he did too.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right. So I mean, you may not have played that. You may have gotten that from some other area, and they played it.
Oh yeah, like because Dinero probably came from DJ City,
right?
So maybe it's possible.
Yeah,
you're right. Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, like I'm just none of these things make any sense.
No way.
Yeah, I mean, Dinero, Jump by Crisscross, which doesn't make sense because if anything, Jump Around would be right around the same thing because they usually go hand in hand.
Right.
Mosh Pit, Flostradamus. No, there's no way. Like, in all honesty, like I would say, I know for a fact that I play low. Flow Rider's low.
Right.
I play Usher. Yeah. Like none of those are in my top. So I don't think Serato's doing it. I don't think their stuff is.
I don't think it's registering and giving you accurate numbers and stuff on there. Especially like I said, if you get music from different places, it's not going to give you the right amount.
Hold on. So what I'm going to do? So it looks like it goes from like thousands to hundreds. So let me jump to the hundreds real quick. All right. All right. So plays 477 super scratches. All right. Okay, so we got It Takes Two with 153 plays. No, still not right. Still not right. Very bizarre.
Yeah. You might have to look
Yeah.
at that. See, look, you're going to be racking your brain after this. You're going to take this, hop into bed, and be looking at it on your computer. Like, why is this thing not calculating and counting these songs right?
I thought that there was a glitch at one time with Serato and their plays, but yeah, okay. I can't tell you. I can't answer that, Lopez. Sorry.
We got DJ ML here says is 10/22/22 the busiest day of the year for y'all?
Well, it's very busy. I think I have like 9 events. Hold on.
I think this month in general is the busiest month for
Just
me.
like always,
Yeah,
like every year. No,
Yeah,
I
like
agree.
October and April seem to be my busiest, at least here. My busiest month.
Yeah, for us, because of the bar mitzvahs, we go with the school year,
Right.
so it jumps around. We'll have certain days that are just for whatever reason just horribly busy. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 events
You have 8 events on the 22nd?
on the 22nd.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And is that the busiest day for you this month? Oh, wow. Wow.
No, I can get upwards to like actually October. I want to say the 5th is another busy day. There's the 1st. No, it's not that one. Oh, the 8th is worse.
How many you got?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we've done as much as 12 events on a given day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
and that literally gave me a heart attack.
I bet
Like,
you did.
Too much stuff, man. Too much. Like I never thought I would say that this is too much. I never thought that would ever come out of my mouth.
Right.
And then I said it and I felt bad because the world wants to make it seem like I have no right to feel like, you haven't worked for 2 years.
Right.
Just be happy you're working.
Right,
I'm like,
just
I am
remember.
happy. Yeah, but I'm not happy about doing 12 parties and having to, send out, 60 people. Like, I'm not
True.
happy about that.
True. True.
People flaking up. I'm just like, but it didn't occur to me until I started talking to other people. Because, everybody wants to kind of have this happy face. Nothing bothers them.
Mm.
But I remember I was sitting there talking to a party planner and I just stopped and she had a look on her face, right? I'm like, it's just too much, right? And she just, it literally like drained out of her face. Like, oh my God, I don't know how I'm going to do it.
Right.
I can't do this many,
Right.
I'm like, I know,
Yeah.
so we've been lucky. We've been lucky because for whatever reason, we've always had just enough staff
Gotcha.
to make it work. But I would rather have 5 to 6 events.
Right, because
on a
that seems
Saturday.
a little bit more reasonable, and you can have some backup equipment at least with that. I mean, but having
Exactly.
12, you can't have anything. Like everything is
Everything's gone.
stretched. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I have one guy right now who has he has like a degenerative back issue,
Mhm.
and he's supposed to work on Saturday, and he just texted today. He's like, I can't work. My back is killing me. I can't even move. So we had to like go out. Fortunately, one of our older MCs that's actually really, really good, but he's like the tour manager for Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Ooh.
Yeah, he happens to be available. Like we were lucky because everybody else said no. So, knock on wood, we've been good.
Oh man.
So, yeah.
Well, we got one more question for CT here before we let him go, because his time is definitely valuable. He's got a lot of stuff that he handles. So, first of all, we really
I still got
appreciate
2
you.
more meetings today.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, let me get this last question in for him here. So, CT, what do you want to leave on the DJ community with all the content and everything that you put out? What do you want to us to remember and stuff you buy, just in case you stop YouTube completely and all we have is what you left? Like what
Like a legacy, huh?
like a legacy? Like what do you want to leave for the next generation as far as being a great DJ or being a great person or whatever it is?
Well, it's interesting because I always think about that. Like, what do you want people to see?
Right.
When they go to your channel?
Right.
And one of I think that a lot of the things that I speak about, uh, even though it's about DJing, have nothing to do with DJing. Like you can apply this stuff to any part of your life or
Right.
any business.
Right.
So that's kind of where I want to go when it expands to, I want more people besides DJs to come take, listen and, like I got some people right now that go to, Tech Thursday and they're like, I'm not even DJs. I just like listening to your point of view,
Right.
So that's kind of what I want to do. I do want to do a full on training class,
Ooh.
like a full on catalog of DJ training.
Ooh.
Yeah, it'll happen at some point. Because first off, I want it to be good. There's nothing worse than you're like, oh yeah, I looked at that guy's stuff. Yeah, it took me a half hour, and then I was like, why did I spend all this money? Like, I don't want that. I want it to actually be stuff that you can take with you, and but again, use it not just for DJing, but use
Right.
it for life. I don't know. I just even though I'm a DJ, I think I don't know. I think my perspective is slightly skewed from like every other DJ out there.
Right.
I think I look at the world a little differently. So I don't know. I know I don't want to just die and then like my my content is just like dies along with it. Like I want people to continue to be able to go to it. You know what I mean? Like
right.
Like I want to be able to be the guy that like fixes the washing machine,
Right.
the most popular model.
Right.
And everybody continues to like come back to that one video, even though I'm dead and buried. Like I want that. I want all of my stuff to be evergreen. And yes, there's certain stuff that you do gear reviews and things like that.
Right.
Another piece of gear comes out, next model, that other piece is dead. So
It's true.
So that only lasts for so long. But like, anything you can do. I guess I kind of want to be the Gary V of DJs.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, if possible.
Yeah, there's a lot of gems. You guys both drop a lot of gems in your respective perspectives and stuff from your lanes that you do, man. It's fantastic. I mean, I watch your stuff constantly, man. You have so much great educational stuff. If I want to know the inside of this phone, I'll go watch a Cleveland Terrier video. I mean, that's just what it is. And there's nothing wrong with that because you break it down so well to where it's like, it's understandable and you're still geeking out at the same time.
Right.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I like. Don't give me big terms and not explain what that big term was. I want to know why that was called that. What's the history of that? I need all of that,
Well, and it's funny too, because like, even when I make these videos or whatever, even I'm like, they could still be better. And there's a couple of guys that I look to that just from a presentation standpoint are so upper level. Mm-hmm. If I can just get halfway to where they are, it'll be the best content ever. Now, it doesn't matter if it's the best content if nobody watches it. But
that's true.
I guess the question is, who are you doing stuff for? That's the question.
True.
Are we just trying to make content just so we can get clicks, or is it something we actually love to do? And if it is something you love to do, what are you doing more of?
Right.
The stuff you have to do or the stuff you love to do?
You love to do. Right. Right.
And I think we all got to get back to the stuff we love to do, because then if you love to do it and you don't make views, you don't get views, it doesn't matter.
Right.
But if you do get views, now it's based off the stuff you love. So you can continue to do the stuff you love.
True.
Best place to be in.
Love it.
So that's where I want to be.
All right. So, I said that was the last one. Let me just give one quick last one here. One more last one, CT. All right. I asked DJ Liftoff this when we had him on the show a couple weeks ago. What is your dream job? Like now this is specifically for DJing. What's your mountaintop, something that, if you hit this, it's like, wow, I cannot believe DJing took me here. What's your dream job? And it doesn't have to be one time. It could be something you do consistently. You could do festivals. You could do, sporting events. You could do open for your favorite DJ, whatever it is. What's that one dream job that DJing would take you to that you would be like, oh yeah, this is it. I've arrived.
Wow. Well, the funny thing is depending on when you ask that question, it might be a different answer.
True.
Because maybe 10 years ago, I'm like, oh, I want to be a touring DJ and, hit the entire world up. Right. Now I'm like, that's just a lot of being away from your home. And,
that's true. That's true.
It's not the same anymore. But in the beginning, oh man, that's what I wanted to do.
Right.
I think especially for DJs specifically, right. I think the best place you can be is somewhere where D-Nice is. Ooh. D-Nice is now at a place that he's doing all this, high-end, top-notch stuff.
Presidential stuff.
Yeah, right. But he's also making his own choices now.
True.
People are coming to him like, hey, we have all these gigs. And you're like, I'll do that one. I'll do that one. I'll do that one.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
And then still be financially fine where you can just walk away and they won't even be mad at you because you said no. Like that's the place that I'd like to be. I love DJing. But they always say, do what you're good at, not what you love, which is, can go both ways.
Right.
Because one of the things I'm really good at is talking. And I didn't realize the level that I was at until the pandemic. Like even with the YouTube stuff and making videos and stuff like that, like it didn't really click until the pandemic, and then we were on, I was doing interviews with everybody and all those things. And I was like, oh, okay. And the fact that like, I'm on here for a long time talking by myself. Yeah. So you better be good at something if you're going to spend, 2 to 3 hours just talking.
Right.
So I wouldn't even be opposed to being a host of something, on TV.
I can see that.
Yeah. So we'll see.
You know what you would be great on? Shazam. I think you could replace Jamie Foxx on Shazam. I think you could kill that.
When I saw that, I totally thought about that. I'm like, I can do that.
Yeah, you could do that. That's easy.
Yeah. Look, all I know is this. So we have Disney Plus. We have all the streaming channels because I have children. Uh-huh. But right now, is it Disney Plus or is it Apple? I think it's Disney Plus. Dancing with the Stars is on Disney Plus now. They moved it off of, Channel 7, whatever channel it was on. So it's on Disney Plus, and now they have new hosts. They have Tyra Banks and Alfonso Ribeiro.
Carlton?
Yes. And two things I know. First off, in real life, that guy is one of the worst people I've ever seen. I did a wedding. He was one of the groomsmen. And I watched him treat his wife in a way that I couldn't believe.
What?
And all those smiles, all those things that you see, none of them exist in real life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So when I saw that, I'm like, look, if this man keeps getting jobs, like anybody, and it's not like it's like, oh, Alfonso Rivera, like, come on, he hasn't done anything in years.
Right.
I think anybody can. Now the question is, do people want to take chances anymore? Like everybody wants to put like stars on. Right. I mean, come on now. Like even commercials, voiceovers are being done by $20 million actors.
Yep.
They just take everything from us.
Yeah, they don't give the little man an opportunity.
Yeah, so you make your own lanes. Then that's True. The only way to do it nowadays.
That's what's up.
Anyway, yeah.
All right, bro. Well, we appreciate you coming through, CT, man. This is a total blessing, man. Thank you for stopping through and answering all these questions. Guys that are watching, I hope you guys got some gems from this because, CT drops knowledge all the time. You can catch him on every Thursday, Tech Thursdays. It's on Twitch, and I think it's on his YouTube channel as well. But definitely check him out. Give him a follow. Go follow his IG. Go follow him on all social media platforms. He is the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Cleveland Terry. Appreciate you, bro.
Appreciate you. Ow, something just jumped into my eyeball. Like a bug.
Not doing that great exit I just did. I mean,
I know, but literally just flew into my eye. That's weird.
All right, we're gonna let CT go handle those other meetings and stuff, and we will talk to him soon.
Sounds good, pal.
All right, bro.
Talk to you soon.
All right.
Peace out.
All right, bro. Oh man, it's good conversation and stuff with Cleveland, man. I really appreciate him stopping through. And you guys know, he had to be a special guest because we have gone over that hour time frame. You already know that. We usually stick to that hour, but for certain guests, man, you got to give him that platform, and he's done a lot and stuff for me just in general from afar. We are on 2 different coasts, and he continues to look out from his side of the world. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to let you go ahead and get to some football or to whatever you were doing in your evening or in your afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are. And make sure you tune in next week because we have got some more good stuff. We're going to go over the gig that's coming up this weekend and just some more fun stuff. And I'm going to tell you about this Halloween wedding that I'm going to do this month. And my costume comes in next week, so maybe I'll dress in the costume when I come on the show. Who knows? We'll see. But all right, guys, thank you for joining in. We'll see you again next week. And remember, do not live to survive, live to strive. This is your favorite DJ, DJ JayBook, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.